All right, welcome back, you YouTubers. This is Ken with MacGyver_me, and today we're going to be doing this Ford Expedition 2014. We're going to be doing the two door glasses, the driver and passengers. I had already done the windshield on a previous video. If you want to see how to do a windshield on this particular vehicle, go to that one and check it out. This is all old school. I'm not, I've been in it a little over 40 years. And so I'm old school. Everything is freehand cut for me, and everything is cut perfectly to the glass. Especially when you get into aftermarket glass, sometimes when you're using a computer generated software, they don't have the aftermarket glass. Sometimes it's cut a little differently. So this way I get an exact cut to how I want it on each vehicle. So I prefer doing it the old school way than the new school. New school's been out probably about 15 years, like I said on other videos. But I'm not knocking these guys. They do what they can. I used to work in a high production shop where we used to do 21 cars a day. That's 3 guys, 3 bays, 21 cars a day, 6 days a week. So yeah, this was a very high production. And so I think that I can offer you a lot more tips and tricks on doing particular glass. So yeah, so we're gonna attempt to do these. Well, we are gonna do them. He's wanting, this customer wants to match the back end of this vehicle, which is an 18% on the back end. And so we're gonna match the front doors to the back. And I just want to go through some of the do's and don'ts and how-tos. So, and remember, during this video, if you have a moment, you want to hit the like and subscribe. I greatly appreciate it. Like I said in other videos, I'm called MacGyver_me because I do so many different things, signs and graphics. I work on all different kinds of equipment, everything from software, computer-generated stuff to hardware stuff, CNC routers, end mills, plasma cutters. I'm an artist. I do so many different things. So keep an eye on my channel and put the little bell clicky thing there, and you never know what you're going to find with me. So yeah, stay tuned to my channel. I greatly appreciate that. But moving on, we'll get to the install. So I'm gonna shut this off and come back. Okay, so here's the door glass, passenger door. So one of the things that I do, one of the first things I teach people when they're trying to learn how to window tint is cleanliness is next to godliness. So I always choose to pick the cleaning portion of learning this trade because it is the most important part, because people want quality. And okay, I'm now on the driver's side. So you'll notice you have a sticker down here. That's because I have not cleaned the window yet. Now that's a Ford. I can't really see it. There's a Ford decal on the glass itself. I should say it's etched into the glass. That's when they build the glass for these vehicles, they put their logo and some other information on the glass. That you will never be able to get rid of. But any stickers like this for Sears and other things you can take off when you clean the window. But like I was saying, one of the biggest things I teach my students is you have to know how to clean the windows, because cleaning them is going to give you the best install. So let me roll the window down here a little bit. Okay, so I always make sure that I razor the whole glass. Now this will dull this edge right here. Yeah, there you go, focus. This edge right here will dull your blade. So make sure that that's the last part that you hit, or else you're just going to be going through a lot of the blades. So make sure you clean, get into the jam, right? All the way down, both sides, right? And then all the way down on the bottom, right? And always, just because it's a newer vehicle, doesn't mean that this vehicle has never been tinted before. If you're in a state where tint's illegal on the front doors, or a car's been brought in from out of state to a dealer and you pick up that car, well, in order to get the inspection done, they have to remove the front doors majority of the time. So make sure you keep a good eye out for any type of adhesive that was on the glass when they removed it, because they don't care. So, but you do, because glue is for the most part translucent, but when it's left on the glass and you put tint over it, it sticks out like a sore thumb. Trust me, you do not want adhesive on there when you're doing your install. Another thing is this gives you a perfect opportunity to check out your work area, to be able to see how much room you got in between the rubber molding here and the exterior, because you don't want any light leaks. The same thing here, you want to be able to see how much room you have to play with. And also down in the jamb, you want to see how far that rubber is. If it's soft, if it's hard, that determines what your install is going to be. A lot of people remove door panels. I do not remove door panels for the most part. I may have 2% of vehicles in the industry that I take off door panels. I don't need to, because I've learned so many different tricks on doing my installs. So after razor blading the whole the window down, squeegeeing it down, I'll do the same thing like I did on the windshield. I will spray downwards. You'll see it when I do the install. So with that being said, you're looking on the inside to see what you have to work with, looking at your radiuses, right, your curves, seeing if you have that also down deep inside here. You want to keep an eye on those, because that will determine what type of install you have. So looking on the outside, from in here, the space from where this rubber is to this gap here, right, will determine how far in you got to go, because you don't want light leaks. You don't want to see the edge of the tint. So you want to be like maybe an 1/8 inch beyond this point, that way. And the same thing with the front. You look straight on. It don't look like I have anything if I look straight on. So I'm going to have to go in probably about yay, and I'll show you how I do that. So stay tuned. Okay, you'll see I use SunTech. I love this film. I've used so many different high-end products, this included. One of the biggest things you look for in film is, obviously, all the professional films offer a lifetime warranty, by the way. So then what's the difference, right? So there's a lot of difference. You can get carbon, you can get titaniums, you can get nickel, you can get ceramic. You can get so many different types of films, and it depends where you're at. If you're down South Florida, Arizona, the hot places, you definitely want to go with one of the more metallized films or the ceramic. Ceramic knocks out a lot of heat. I'm here in North Carolina, we don't get a lot of that heat, so I just use a carbon film on most of the vehicles here. It's a pretty film. It matches up pretty close to the factory film. So that's why I use it. Now, one of the things you may want to get into, if you're just first starting out, just window tint, you don't have a lot of money to spend on window film, and you want to be able to kind of have a wide range of vehicles that you can do, 40 inch by 100 would be your best bet. You can order the 20-inch rolls, which is great for doing a lot of door glasses on cars, Jeeps, different things like that. When you're doing sunroofs and some back windows, you can get away with using the 20-inch film, which you can do that here too. So I get to 40 and I get everything that I can do. I do my windshields, I can do my back windows. It covers all my measurements for my back windows on every vehicle that I do. I haven't found one vehicle that I could not do using 40 inch. And most door glasses, I can do splitting this in half. Measure the height of the glass that you need, and you split this in half. You got 20 inches. And if your glass is less than 19 inches, then you should be good. So again, you can split it in half, or use it like your Fords, your F-150s and such. I'll just pull it straight out of my box, get my height on my pull versus the width of the box. So what you normally do if you have two knives is you find the center 20 inches and you just kind of put it in a box like this and you pull the film. Now you have two 20-inch pieces by whatever the length is when you're measuring the door going across. So I just wanted to pinpoint that out to you because Tint's it's going up every single year, and customers, you know, they may have had a car done 3 years ago, and they come back and they wonder why in the heck is it costing me more this year? Oh, that's because the manufacturers they go up every single year, you know, especially with trucking prices and stuff like that for fuel. You know, it's hard to get truckers out there. Prices go up because they have to pay the premium on shipping. So yeah, so basically I'm going to go over a lot of the details on the door of this particular expedition. So I'm going to take the camera off so that you guys can see what I'm talking about. So stay tuned. Okay, so first things first, making sure the window's rolled up all the way. And then what I do is I make sure my window's clean on the outside of any dirt and debris. A lot of times you're going to notice, and this happens a lot because dirt gets down in the jam here and it causes these scratches. I don't know if you can see them on film, but it causes scratches. So I squeegee that down. Again, I will always emphasize how much you got to clean things, because any dirt on this will transfer onto the film, and then that will translate to the install. So can you see how I'm holding this tint? See how it's curved in, how it wants to naturally just fold in? That tells me that this is the outside, this is the liner, and the inside is the tint. So we're working on the outside of the glass right now, and so I want the tint as if I was going to install it to the inside to cover like this. Okay, make sure everything's covered. Now this is where I do a lot of shifts. So what I do is I use the edges of the rubber like I showed you before on the other side. I use the edge as a guide for my knife. Again, always click in new blades. I don't know if you can see that on film, I only want that much of the blade sticking out. Okay, any more, you can stand a chance of cutting the rubber of the vehicle, then you're replacing rubbers. So always have just one little click out with just a little bit of the blade showing. And so what I normally do is I take and I pull it back and I get my finger alongside the edge of the rubber, and I just ride that all the way down, and then I rip away. Always rip away, otherwise you'll cause it to go that way, and that's no good. Then you just trash the film. So one of the things I want to show you that I do, remember I told you I wanted to be able to be this side of the rubber a little bit and then that side of the rubber a little bit. So I made my first cut, so I want to pull this, the amount that I want on there plus how much I want over there. So basically double that amount like that. I don't know if you can see that or not. And then I'll do my straight cut just the same way as I did that over here. So I'll pull it back a little bit and just ride this edge straight up, pull it back, be careful not to kink the film or crease it, and then I'll pull it that way so that I have my perfect overlap this way, my perfect overlap that way. Now I can squeegee this down, okay? So that locks the tint into place. So my next cut would be the bottom down here. And so the rubber on the inside goes exactly to the rubber on the outside. And so when I cut the top and I do my install, I want to just be below that edge of the glass, and that will drop me below my rubber in here. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and this varies on different vehicles, so stay tuned to me. Anytime I do a new vehicle, I will show you these changes. So again, I take my fingernail, put it down here on the rubber, and I ride that rubber all the way down. Then I peel it away, snap it. And then that makes sure that you'll be able to square up your edges once you put it on the board. Another thing I like to do is up here in this corner, see how you have so much tint here? Make sure you don't come too much this way or scratch the paint. But I like cutting some of this off. The reason for that is because when the tint is wet, it sticks here and you try to roll the window down, then it pulls the tint up sometimes. You don't want that. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna tap the window down. So I pull it up about halfway. Hold on a second. And then I release this up here like this. Then I tap it down. Tap it down enough that I can work on it. So now I have my whole top edge visible that I can ride. A couple clicks out, you can start here, and then you're going to take this part of the blade, or the holder of the blade will ride the edge of the glass, giving you a nice cut. And just keep in mind, we have a radius here, so we want to follow that radius. So we'll start it a little high, let it hit the glass. Now we're going to just ride that glass. And then pull it away, like I said. Always pull it away and rip it off. So that's all I need as far as this goes. Now I'm gonna take it and I'm gonna put it on my board, my cutting board, and I'll finalize all my cuts on the board. And so what I will do is I will take my little straight edge ruler, and then I will line up my edges, cut it, throw that away, and then I will finalize my radius here, freehanded, give me a nice curve. And the same thing up front here, I will line up my lines, throw those away, and then I noticed I had a little curve on the inside, so I curved that as well. Then I square up my bottom. And that's it. So once again, making sure the outside's nice and clean so I can see what I'm doing on the inside. Keeping everything clean. Alrighty. So this is the install. I missed down the whole glass. What I like to do is take my lint-free rags. They gotta be lint-free, guys. Lint-free. I take it and wrap it around my finger, and I clean that top edge of that glass. Clean it. Clean it. You can't be too clean in this type of work. Clean it. Okay? So I'll mist it one more time real lightly, and then I'll ride the edge without hitting the top of the felt up here. You don't want to hit that top rubber or felt, whatever it is on the vehicle. They vary on different vehicles. So if you hit that, that felt's gonna just it's like light dust, and then it gets in the film. You don't want that. So don't touch that after you've cleaned that top edge. So ride that edge of that glass just like this, right? Come all the way over to the sides, covering your bases. Okay, and like I said on the windshield, I hose everything in from the top down. That way, anything that's up on the top will go wash down. Right? Same thing with this side. Washing the sides all down. That way I have a nice clean install. Then I hit the bottom. Then I mist it lightly. All right. And when I'm peeling the liner on the tint, I'll come all the way down to about 7/8, maybe 3/4, and then I'll leave a part of that liner. You'll see. I don't know if you can see what I'm doing over here. It's probably a bad camera angle. But nonetheless, I mist the tint down really good. I caught off part of the liner on the bottom. And then I always grab, I don't know if you can see this. I always grab the bottom corner. I never grab the tint once the liner is peeled because I don't want to get any dirt from my finger on there. So I'll grab it at the bottom corner and then hold it. You'll see. But bottom corner, put my hand behind it, let it drop in my hand. I always go with the big side here first. I put it on the glass. I don't try to hit the rubber because I want to keep it clean. So I bring it all the way down here and then I push it in behind that rubber. And then I do the same thing with the front, not to hit the rubber on the inside. Put it behind the rubber, then move it in, just like that. Then I line my corners up, line my edge up where I want it. And like I said, I'm just normally a little bit below the edge. That way I don't ever have any peeling. Now, unlike the windshield, I squeegee from the top all the way across the top because I don't want anything to wash down on the edge of the tint. Okay? Now this thumb is holding the tint while I squeegee so it doesn't move. This is a pressure sensitive adhesive. Once you get the water out, the adhesive takes place. But that depends on how much soap you put in the water too. We determine how much movement you have in the tint. And so I push it off to the side and then down, pushing any dirt downwards. Okay? So as you can see down here, I'm still not done. So I work this top portion first and then I'll take the towel and I'll push up on the whole edge, getting any water out of it that I can, and also locking the tint in with the pressure sensitive adhesive. Then I'll roll it up and then you'll see how the other part goes. So I'll hold the tint while I put pressure on the tint with the towel and get the water off the edge. Then I will go for the mid, holding with my thumb, the top part, and then work my way down. The idea is to get all the, to get a lot of the moisture out and also get the tint to hold when I get ready to roll the window up. So this is the part that I'm going to roll the window up. So I'll hold the tip away from the glass just lightly, tap the window up. Tap the window up. See there? So the idea now is to get up underneath the tint and hose down everything with my spray bottle. Everything that way, everything this way, and then down. You'll see. So I'll hold the tint up. Don't crease it. And then down. Over. And then down. And then I'll back the tint away, wet the underneath side there a little bit. And the same thing over here. That way I have some type of mobility. So I'll pull the tint back a little bit and get it behind there. Some of these are easier than others. So this is where you take certain tools. I didn't show you this tool. It has another rubber edge. So I'll get this behind the rubber here in the inside. I'm going to use my chiseler, the pink one, and run it to get the tint behind that edge. Just like that. Missed it, and then squeegee it down. And I take this, and I'm working behind this area where I had that fold, and I push everything down behind that rubber. Same thing in the front, down on the bottom. And then down along the bottom edge. Then I'll go back with my towel and my hard card, and I'll do the same thing all the way down. Then I'll run it around all the way down the bottom edge to soak up any water so it doesn't wick coming back up the window tint. So then I'll observe everything from the outside, look at all my edges, and clean it. Sometimes there's required heat sometimes in here. Sometimes you'll pinch the film a little bit. So what I'll do sometimes is, let me see if I have it. Yep. So you can go to a cigar shop and pick up these lighters. They're the 3 burners. They get really nice and hot. And you got to be very careful with these. They're butane. You fill it with butane. And I get a straight edge metal. Then I'll put it alongside the rubber here so you don't burn the rubber. And then I'll see wherever my edge is that I need to lay down a little bit more to let it dry a little bit quicker. Heat it up a little bit. And then this will lay down like a champ. Like perfect. Don't have any issues. Yep. And I'll check out the front. The front looks good. And there you have it. That's how you do one of the door glasses. Stay tuned for other cars I'll be doing some videotaping of, just to give you a broader range of how-tos on the challenges of different doors. So thank you again for watching this channel, MacGyver_me. Again, like, subscribe, and hit the little bell there so that you get the notifications anytime I put a new video up. All right? Thank you again for watching.